Greetings and welcome to our daily walk through the scripture for December the 4th. Your readings today find you starting a new book in the Old Testament, Hosea. You're going to read chapters 1, 2, and 3. You're going to read 1 John chapter 5. You're going to read Psalm 124 and Proverbs chapter 29, verses 5 through 8. Now, Hosea is the beginning of what we'd call the minor prophets, but they're not minor prophets because they're less important. No, they're really just called the minor prophets because, well, the books are shorter. That's it. That's why they're called the minor prophets. And Hosea is really a fascinating book because it is, well, let's be frank. Being a prophet of God is really difficult at times. And it's even more difficult when God gives you difficult instructions to carry out. And God gave Hosea an extremely difficult instruction to carry out. He said, I want you to go marry Gomer, the prostitute. And not only are you going to marry Gomer, but she's going to continue to cheat on you time and again. Yet, you are going to continue to love her. And you, Hosea, are going to use your life as an example of how I love Israel. That's in essence what the book of Hosea is Hosea, identified as the son of Beeri, is a northern kingdom prophet, and he is right at the tail end of the tumultuous time of the northern kingdom. Samaria is going to fall during his time, and really for about 25 years, Hosea is going to be a prophet. And this whole time, his job is to show God's persistent love. Hosea chapter 3, verse 1 is kind of a highlight, if you will. The Lord said to me, go show your love to your wife again, and though she is loved by another and is an adulteress, love her as the Lord loves the Israelites. See, we have this incredible compare and contrast that happens all throughout the book of Hosea, and you're going to see it happen time and time again, where you're going to see examples of apostasy by the people of Israel, but also examples of God in healing. You're going to see it in the first chapter and in the third chapter of your readings. You need to understand that this is God's continued pursuit and love and faithfulness of the people of Israel in spite of them willfully sinning. This is a low state. This is not a good time for the state of Israel, the northern kingdom, and his ministry. The priests are leading people into sin. Idolatry and temple prostitution were running rampant. There was drunkenness. There was adultery that was characteristic of the kings. I mean, these were not good people. And so while you got prophecies and prophets, guys like Isaiah and Micah that were prophesying to Judah, you had Hosea and you had Amos that were northern kingdom guys. And so that's a little bit of the difference. But you need to know that God still continues to pursue and love the northern kingdoms, not just the southern kingdoms. And really, ultimately, this all comes down to a word that we looked all the way back in Ruth on, and that is the word loving kindness. That's really only a word that can describe God in so many ways, and in some ways it's undescribable. But essentially, God is never going to let Israel go, okay? And so when you see Hosea in his marriage experience and his wife being unfaithful, that's how God feels about Israel being unfaithful to him. And yet, Hosea does not let Gomer out of her marriage contract. Neither does God let Israel out of their marriage covenant, out of the covenant of you are my people. And even though Israel is going to go through a period of exile, Hosea talks about it in chapter 7, chapter 8, there's also a beautiful return and imagery recalling Egypt going from Canaan, or from Egypt to Canaan, and it's going to be the same thing again, where the people of Israel will be brought back. God's love, regardless of Israel's scorn, is never ending. And so you can look at the story of Hosea and Gomer, and you can see the beautiful restoration that happens, and you can see all of those wonderful things that happens. But know that this is a difficult time, and as deep as God is hurt, there's no doubt Hosea is also deeply hurt by the unfaithfulness of his wife. So this is really an incredible testament to the faithfulness of Hosea. This is an incredible testament, more importantly, to the faithfulness of God. But as you read this, see God on how he continues to pursue his unfaithful wife, metaphorically, in the kingdom of Israel. Okay, so enjoy these next few days in Hosea, and we will talk more next time.